Welcome to another seasonal servings, everyone. As you know, Valentine's Day right around the corner. It's tomorrow. Maybe you don't have any ideas for a delicious, wonderful meal to cook for that special someone or someones. Maybe it's a family dinner, but that's okay. If you act now, you could be ready just in time with a perfect, delicious, simple, seasonally inspired meal. So let's get to it. What are we doing? Pork tenderloin, but how are we going to incorporate a seasonal ingredient? Oh, we're going to use orange and a nice marinade, and then we're going to turn that marinade into a tasty, absolutely delicious glaze that we're going to drizzle over top of it. Leeks will get more attention yet again on seasonal servings. We're going to incorporate those into mashed potatoes. So yes, potatoes are getting love again also. But I've got a little trick to try that's going to help make them extra creamy and silky. I promise you it'll be delightful. And yes, we've got to get those greens in there. We're going to give kale, I know, kale a little bit of love. I'm not a raw kale gal, but I kind of know how to make it taste much better if we cook it down. So I'll show you some tips and tricks to take that flavor that kind of puts a lot of us off. So let's get right to it. We'll get started now that we've got the layout here. First and foremost, my pork tenderloin is already in the oven cooking and ready to go. The marinade was simple. It just required orange juice, rosemary, soy sauce, ginger, and some garlic. Overnight I did, but hey, as much as you can do, at least about an hour beforehand, but more is always going to be better. And now I've got my potatoes boiling. They're already ready to go. I've got this planned out very nicely here. So we're going to mash those once they are finished up. But now we're going to get started first and foremost with the kale. We're going to use just regular chopped sweet onion though. And I think the sweet onion part is important here because I feel personally kale needs flavor. You need to help it out here because most people, hey, more power to you if you can do raw kale, but I feel like it's a tough sell for most of us, especially in my house where I have a toddler. So in goes my onion and I just saute that up and we're going to cook that down. Season with salt and pepper along the way because again, we need to add flavor. Flavor is going to be key here, and it should be for every meal. And don't be shy about cooking these down. Caramelizing onions, especially the sweeter onions, really just enriches the flavor with that sweetness. And that is what we want for this kale. Good to get our greens in too, our winter greens in. I think this is browned on the edges enough that we can add in some of our garlic. Not all of it, I know I have quite a lot here, but I'm saving some of it for my leek and mashed potatoes. So we are going to combine those. So make sure you don't use it all if you chop it all up at once. And just soften that for about another minute and then we can start adding in the kale. The smell, it's perfuming. You gotta love when that happens. And now it's time to finally add in our kale. And then we're going to just saute this down until, well, we definitely get it a decent amount wilted. So in we go. This is about half of one of those big bags of kale. The rest is bunny food. That's about as much kale, I think, as our family can tolerate at home. So the bunnies get the rest. And just like that, our kale is now sauteed down, and obviously like most greens, yeah, it definitely looks like you lose a lot of it. Now, we're not going to just leave it like this. We're having mashed potatoes, so I feel we need a little bit of sweet, which the orange will help with, but our kale also needs a little sweet too. So from the holidays, I have these leftover cranberries, the dried kind. It doesn't have to be the fresh kind. I know past Thanksgiving, early December, it can be kind of hard to get. But just throw in as many as you think is necessary. And I also find that, you know, we lack a little texture too. Pork tenderloin, it's pretty soft. You want it to be though, that's not a problem. And mashed potatoes. So we're going to add a little crunch with walnuts to our greens. Just enough. This is probably going to be about 1/4 cup. You can use pecans if you happen to have pecans. This is just what's left over from late fall, early winter, using up those last seasonal ingredients before we forget about them, and then they're kind of rancid by next year. So mix that in. And at that point, our kale is done. The kale is done with. My potatoes now are fully cooked, so I'm going to get started on cooking down my leeks and my garlic. Starting by heating olive oil, and while that's happening, I am just going to move on to getting my potatoes mashed here. Starting first, of course, by removing them from the water. And now we're going to get a little fancy-pantsy here. One little trick to make these extra smooth, extra creamy, just whipped tasting. I'm going to use a food mill to puree these. Trust me when I say if you have a food mill, do not skip this step. It changes your mashed potato game doing this. And in goes our leeks. Woo! Careful. In they go. And once they cook down enough, we'll be adding in garlic too. In will go our garlic as advertised, the rest of it. It's coming together, guys. A little bit of multitasking here, but it's nothing we can't handle in the seasonal servings kitchen. And gosh, you just gotta look at this. The creaminess and the fluff factor with this, it's next level. Take a look at that, just look at that. Look how silky and pureed that is. You still get some of the skin too because we used yellow potatoes. It's like the best of all the worlds. And then of course we go with your typical, enough milk and butter so that we are creaming out our potatoes. How silky you are about to get. Now it is the moment to add those leeks in, and butter and garlic. In you go. Don't be shy about it with all these potatoes and adding milk. Trust me when I say the flavor goes a long way here. All right, mashed potatoes are done. I've added a nice amount of cheese, maybe a little bit more to make everybody happy. Now, when I come back, I'll have the sauce already prepared. We'll talk about what I did for this orange sauce that's going to go with the pork, and then we're gonna put it all together, and we are going to taste every last delicious bite. Welcome back, everybody. We are putting the finishing touches on our orange glazed pork tenderloin, and of course our sides, which includes leek mashed potatoes and some sauteed kale. Now, while we were taking a little bit of a break, I made the glaze, which is just very simple. You use the leftover marinade, a cup of freshly squeezed orange juice, and then about a third a cup or so of sugar, but you can adjust this to taste. And then all you have to do is add a cornstarch slurry, which is just equal parts water and cornstarch. I did 2 teaspoons of cornstarch to 2 teaspoons of water, mixed it all in, bubbled it, and now we've got a silky, delightful sauce that we're going to put on top of the pork. First and foremost, though, it's time to get plating here. So I am going to start with a nice scoop of these leek mashed potatoes. Ooh, look how delicious. And I love the color here. The leek adds that nice little pop of green that these yellow potatoes need. And I promise you these are creamy after using a food mill. And then my kale with walnuts and cranberry sauteed with sweet onion, because we gotta make kale taste okay. Most of us were not fans of kale raw, and even cooked can be a tough sell. So we do the best we can to dress it up so that it's something that's much more palatable than, say, the raw version. All right, nice piece of pork, here we come. I am going to pull right from the middle here. Oh, look at this guy. Okay, not yet. Getting there though. Oh, why not put some in the mash? We're gonna want some in the mash anyway. And then I'll add another piece. Oh, why not do 3? It's Valentine's Day. Extra love, extra food, right? Boom, okay. I'm also gonna try to be a little fancy pants here, but this might end up being a hot fail, we'll find out. But I'm going to try to pour the sauce chef style. Whoop, just like this. Just drizzle that on. Look at that glaze. Drizzle that on, and then we'll put some around here. Oh, hey, that doesn't look so bad. See, guys, fake fancy, fake it till you make it. Oh, yeah, look at that. I'm way prouder about this than I should be. All right. Ooh, time for that perfect bite. I don't even know where to start. Actually, I do know. We're gonna start with the pork, get them good in the sauce. Do I want mashed potatoes on this one? You know what? We'll hold off. There's always room for more than one bite. All right, the first bite. Here we go. Oh wow, that orange sauce just, and you can taste the marinade in the pork too. Let's get another one with the mashed potatoes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the bite. All right, I can't forget about my greens. I did make the kale. The sweet and the crunch definitely helps. Oh man, this is absolutely delicious. I hope you really get to try this. If not for Valentine's Day, it could just be an easy, quick weeknight meal that's really simple to put together. You can do these side dishes while the pork tenderloin is cooking. As always, I'll be sure to get the recipe for all of this on our website, fox43.com. So don't worry if you couldn't take notes along the way. Be sure to find it there. And if you have any ideas, a seasonal ingredient perhaps that you'd like to try, or maybe just a dish that you want to see my little spin on it, all you have to do, send an email to amikles@fox43.com. I'd love to hear your ideas or what you might want to see. But until we are back in the Fox 43 kitchen, putting together another delicious, seasonally inspired meal, you continue to eat with the season, my friends, and have fun. Enjoy it along the way.